Welcome to the ESCCA Podcast, the official voice of the EuroLeague Strength and Conditioning Coaches Association. I'm your host, Roberto Iezzi. Join me as we dive into the art and science of elite performance, sharing insights, stories, and strategies from the brightest minds in the game. Let's elevate the game together. Kostas, welcome on the ESCCA Podcast. Finally, this is an historic episode. First episode ever of our brand new podcast. It's been a long time coming, but finally we made it. Kostas, welcome.
Roberto, thank you. Thank you for having me as a host. And you are right. This is a historic moment. We've all talked about, unifying the scene of media and podcast and basketball-related performance stuff in Europe. So I think the podcast is, the ESCCA podcast is just another step towards this direction. And I'm glad that we are actually doing it.
So this first episode, I want to ask you a few things just to make our listeners understand a little bit more about the ESCCA, who we are, what we are actually doing, how we're growing, and all this kind of stuff. The very first question for those who still don't know us, what is the ESCCA?
Well, the ESCCA stands for EuroLeague Strength and Conditioning Coaches Association, and basically it's the association of all the strength and conditioning coaches that work in the EuroLeague. It also includes their assistants, sports scientists, that are involved in the team as official staff members. And currently there are 18 EuroLeague teams. So we're talking about these 18 coaches and the assistants. The participation in the association, I'm proud to say that is almost 100%. And basically it represents our effort to unite, to kind of meet each other, because in the beginning I think and I know you were in that first conversation when we were having dinner. At that time it was in Tel Aviv with Reggie Fanan. It was the strength and conditioning coach of Maccabi, and we just having a casual dinner, and you were there as a strength coach of Jerusalem, I believe, at that time, right? And we just say, hey, listen, we were just talking between, before the warm-ups and briefly saying hello. I said, I don't know half the people's names sometimes, I'm embarrassed. And that's where it was triggered. I said, why don't we unite? Why don't we make something? Why don't we start an association that has everybody under one umbrella, one roof? And since that time, we have a lot of things happen. And I'm proud to say now, 5 years later, we're doing a lot of things gearing towards, let's say, having a saying in what happens in the EuroLeague in terms of health and performance, but also reaching out to the public, to the other strength and conditioning coaches in Europe and globally in terms of education. The ESCCA is actually the EuroLeague strength and conditioning coaches that want to promote their job, promote health and performance, and also promote education of other coaches, if I just kind of sum it up in three things.
Great. And as you said, we've been together basically for the past 5 years. What are the main achievements that we have reached so far?
Well, the main achievement is the association itself. I think that the fact that we actually got together, know each other now really well. We were able to help each other in practical issues, from sharing equipment to facilitating facilitating training when on the road, and exchanging information about players that change teams, and just to create this community and this trust. And I'm proud to say that I was surprised at how everybody's humble, and everybody's willing to share and willing to participate in this common good. And I would say this is pretty much one of the three biggest achievements. I think the first one is this. The second one is that we are having a voice in the EuroLeague. We're having a voice in this world that we all live in, and we're able to share our knowledge and to share our opinions about things that are happening daily in our lives and our professions. For example, one example would be how we train and the problems that we face and the things that we need to do to improve our job. For example, to allow technology to be used and things like that. So we have a channel of communication with the EuroLeague. And the third one, I would say, is that we have kind of established ourselves as the main go-to organization for strength and conditioning related matters, education matters in Europe. So if you want to get into European strength and conditioning for basketball, then you have to it's going to be the ESCCA that's going to be right on the top over there. And I'm proud to say that we're creating a community that includes not only the EuroLeague strength and conditioning coaches, but also the rest of the, let's say, European strength and conditioning community for basketball, right? So in every summit, I open up the event by saying that we don't want to be an elite organization that represents only those few people in the top clubs, but we want to engulf everybody. We want to create a community of coaches that are here, they're exchanging information, and we create a community. And that's of one of the main goals of this association, is to create a pan-European and a global community of people of coaches that are interested in basketball performance.
Yeah, no, this is very important. It's not only coaches, because in our clinics you have head coaches, assistant coaches. You also have physiotherapists. We are really trying to create a community that is trying to grow together and to improve as a community itself, to improve our knowledge, improve our skills. And at the end of the day, the people that will benefit the most from this will be our players.
I absolutely agree. I'll start from the last point, that and this is something I also bring up a lot, that at the end of the day, who gets benefit the most is the people that we work for, and these are the players, right? So we're here for one reason, all of us, is to win games and to help these individuals, the players, perform at their best. So the more educated we are, the more resources that we can pull together, that's to their benefit, and of course to our benefit, no question. The result of our work is also always how our players perform and how our teams perform. It's not how we perform. Nobody cares, and nobody knows what we do behind closed doors. So I would say that that's a big one, and also that performance and therapy and performance and medicine is very tightly knitted. It's connected. So of course, a lot of the stuff that we talk about and a lot of lectures and a lot of knowledge that comes from our side spills over to the physio side and vice versa, right? So a lot of physio knowledge and medical knowledge spills into our field. So we need to, like I always say, we need to speak a common language. We need to have a lot of education that is mostly, is similar to what the physios and the doctors get. And we don't have to be doctors. We don't have to be physios. We don't have to diagnose anybody, but we need to know our stuff so well that we can have meaningful conversations and have a full understanding when we have discussions with physios and doctors. And maybe the curriculum should change in our educational system globally. It's not only about strength and conditioning, it's about the human body, it's about the holistic approach, and for sure it incorporates a lot of medical knowledge.
Yeah, it's crucial to speak the same language with these other practitioners like doctors, physiotherapists, osteopaths, and nutritionists. Is really crucial.
I was, with the conversations that we had with each other and with people from the academia and in general, I said, the strength and conditioning coach must be so well versed in anatomy and orthopedics and things that are medical and physical therapy, so they can thoroughly understand what a case is about, what an injury case is about, and fully understand the world of the doctor and the physio, so you can just blend in and then continue on their work. Let's say when you're rehabbing an injury, that you can really understand what they're saying when we talk about daily cases that we face from let's call it nothing is simple, but a simple muscle tear to a more complex injury. You have to understand medicine. So you have to study it. So you have to study more, maybe more years in college. Nobody wants that, but this is the truth.
Sure. And as an association, how do you see this association, let's say, 5 years from now? How can we develop even more?
Well, keep building the community of coaches. I think that's a big one. Keep bringing in resources, keep growing, keep learning from each other, bringing in companies that have cutting edge technologies and are there to help us do our job and are looking for our insights and input on to develop their products, for example. So building a larger community is one big goal. And the second one would be to have even more influence in the EuroLeague and matters that really are worth discussing in the governing body of that league. For example, there's a lot of things to be done, like injury recording and interventions for injury research and things like that. But you're just growing the community and just keep be more influential in all things basketball performance in the EuroLeague are two big goals, I believe.
And for those few coaches that, again, still don't know us, can you tell them what we are actually doing right now? Like, you already mentioned the clinic, you already mentioned some lectures. Can you tell us something more about this?
Well, there's a lot of things that are going on and kind of overwhelming sometimes. And I'm also glad to see that more people like yourself and Lovro and other people other coaches are getting more involved in running things for the association, because of course it should never be about one person. It was never about one person from day one. It was always a group of us that did stuff. Lucas Villar, now in the States, currently, when we're recording this episode, Reggie, you're at Draxler now. He's in St. Petersburg. You were always around. So there's more people that were constantly had this in mind, plus our jobs, which it's important. So we're launching this podcast, which I'm very excited about because it aligns with the goal of building a community and bringing people in to learn from them, introduce them to our world. Let's say if they're from outsiders, or promote them if they're from the inside. We are starting a membership page in our website, which basically gives for a very low price will give access to more than 80 very high level talks that we already have from all the events that we already made, and anything that's going to be added. Provide the opportunity to view all our online events for free, and also get a discounts on all live events. So that's something that is ongoing. And there's other projects that are going on. For example, we are trying to set up a research project for next year, where we with a group from the United States, we're trying to do the first study that will get some information about the profile of players in the EuroLeague, in particular looking at decelerations and ground reaction forces and how these might be related to injuries, and just help start, because we're not doing it by ourselves, but help start this conversation about exploring, about trying to see the unique conditions that we face and our players compete under, because every league is different. So these research projects are close to heart. We're trying to also to create internship opportunities for young coaches to visit EuroLeague teams and Eurocup teams to see how the professionals are working there, which I believe is huge. And I really want to start that, because we all know how important it is to get these internships positions, to get to know firsthand what is actually happening behind the trench, inside the trenches. So that's another thing that we're doing. And also another thought is to connect the job market, to connect the supply and demand, and try to help teams and young coaches find jobs around Europe. Because now that the market is fragmented, Europe is fragmented. The nature of Europe was always different nations, so different languages, different cultures. So we try to unify that as well in terms of jobs. So it's not going to be easy, but these are things that are down the line. And I hope that all of them are going to we're going to reach all of these goals gradually with the help of everybody, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is really a lot going on, and I would like to encourage our listeners to go on our website, ESCCA.net, and find more information about all the things that you just mentioned. And yeah, go ahead.
No. I said, yeah, for sure. The website is going to be, it's up and running. So it's going to be some more interesting stuff up there as we go along. So yeah, I said, like I said, we want to build that community.
Yeah, great. And of course, the best opportunity that we have will be this summer, our next clinic that finally will be in Italy. And I'm really happy about this. And this year it will be in Torino, northwest of Italy. And again, I'm really excited about this. It's going to be an amazing event. Can you tell us something more about this?
Yeah, it's going to be on the 27th, 28th of June. It's going to be, like you said, in Torino. We are also very excited in bringing it to Italy. The last two events happened in Prague, right? It took place in Prague. And the Italians had the majority. The presence was the Italians was overwhelming. For sure, you guys are very loud, like Greeks. So you made yourself notice. But I think that the Italian strength and conditioning community really embraced what we are doing. So I think it was only a matter of time till we brought the event to Torino. The local guys there were very helpful. And I think we're going to have a great event. We already have 6-7 speakers that are confirmed. Some of them are already on the website. So please go visit also that part of the website. And I hope to see as many people as we can over there. You've been in all of them, I think, or I think you've been in all of them. You see, it's a high-level organization, I want to believe, but it's also laid back and casual, and gives the opportunity to everybody to mingle and really enjoy a nice weekend full of basketball stuff. So it's not your typical official, very, very formal event. So we're having fun, especially that Friday night after the event. We go for beers.
No, we go for wine in Torino.
Yes, for sure. Now it's wine and some good food. We're looking forward to it.
No, I couldn't come to Athens because I had a little thing to do. I had to get married.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, then.
And it's details. Get married. Yeah, come to. Yeah, I think you chose wisely not to come. You can always watch the recordings.
But then I came to Prague, of course, and those were some amazing events. And I was also lucky to be chosen as one of the speakers. And it was a great opportunity for me. And it is a great opportunity for all the guys that attend the event.
It's a good opportunity for all of us, I believe. And I just put myself back 5 years when we didn't have those events and how isolated we were. And now everybody knows everybody, and we're just able to create that network of support between us in a good way, and to just meet all the other strength coaches from Europe. It's really great that wherever you go now, you have people that you know, and you receive emails from everywhere. As a director of ESCCA, I feel very proud of it. And that's the one good thing, that the main benefit if somebody comes to the event is networking. You can always, like I joked before, you can always get the recordings, and you can always find good. And if you really search, you find information on the internet. But this face-to-face contact is priceless. So that's what I cherish the most in these events, is just looking forward to meet everybody again.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Kostas, this first episode is really just an introduction to our a new podcast. So let's speak briefly about the podcast. What is this going to be about, and why did we decided to start this new show?
Yeah. Well, I'll start again from your last point. You had a very successful podcast going, the Sport Vitamin One, both in English and Italian. Lovro Milkovic started his own podcast, and I've been a guest in both those productions. And we thought that it's best to unite everything under one entity, and I think ESCCA was a prime candidate for that. So we have one main platform that people use for basketball strength and conditioning information, especially in Europe. So that was the main idea, and I know how passionate you are about this and Lover also. So we thought the first thing was to combine all the different podcasts under one umbrella and in one place where people can find information. So I would say that the goal is to promote the European scene of strength and conditioning, and also, not as important, I put it in the same importance, is to connect with the globe, to connect with the world. So our guests are going to be from Europe, describing the European approach, the European reality, and the European environment, but also getting insights from everywhere around the globe. So wherever there's interesting people have something to say, they're going to be guests in our podcast. Now, Lovro is doing a little bit for now, for the next few months. He's going to have a different chapter for that podcast. So he's going to be dissecting the book that we co-authored, the different ways to skin the cat, which is also going to be a great opportunity to get minds from different environments and different levels of competitions, of people that are working in the NCAA, EuroLeague, Eurocup, or NBA, and just ask questions of how they would deal with certain challenges in our job. And I think the idea of the book, which was Lucas Villar's idea, to get this, to ask, I don't know how many questions were there, 50, and then just get all the people to answer these questions stemming from their experience. I think that was a brilliant idea. So Lover is going to get in, because he's going to be asking the authors to dissect chapters, to dissect questions, and really get in deeper conversation about this issue, this questions. So that's going to be the second part of the podcast, and the third part is going to be me talking to some other professionals around the world, most probably from outside basketball, maybe from outside sports, so we can get their insights. And I'm a big fan of what is called cross-pollination, is getting ideas from different realms, different knowledge fields, and just incorporating and enriching our experience. So we're going to have 3 different topics in the same podcast, and I think that's going to be interesting for the listeners and people that subscribe, and just get different insights rather than always the same interview and coach, which is super interesting. But I think it's going to be a little more diverse than that.
Great. So just to summarize, we're going to have 3 different segments and 3 different speakers, hosts for this podcast, and we're gonna try to release one episode every 2 weeks, basically, and that's it. Kostas, I think
we're gonna start slow, and hopefully we're gonna pick up fast, and we want to get these good quality episodes, and just steer a lot of thoughts and questions, and get the conversation going. So yeah, 3 different segments, like you mentioned.
Kostas, I think we have covered everything, and thank you very much for being our first guest.
Thank you for having me, and I wish you good luck with all your future episodes, and obviously whatever you're doing over there in Dubai. Until next time, I guess.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
You've been listening to the ESCCA Podcast, the official voice of the EuroLeague Strength and Conditioning Coaches Association. I'm your host, Roberto Iezzi. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, follow us on YouTube, and visit our website at escca.net. Discover exclusive benefits with our membership program. Stay ahead with our newsletter and get the latest updates on Can't Miss live and online events. Until next time, stay strong and keep elevating the game.